feel like I was more nervous for this than when I run a full marathon.
You really shouldn't be. It's just us shooting the shit.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 17. That's right, 17 of the On the Runs podcast. You know, one guy I listened to on the radio said before, anyone can have a podcast. Anyone can put out a podcast, but can you keep it going? Like, what are you going to do when you hit episode 17? And Michael Smirkanish, Erika Hamill, we did it. We hit episode 17. How you doing?
We're killing it out here in the podcast game.
We are killing it. We are having fun for sure. Erika, tell me how you're doing. You just came back from Connecticut.
Yeah, I am really tired again. You seem to catch me at all my tired moments, and it figures I'm in my bedroom. I'm like ready to pass out.
You seem to forget that I live with 3 kids. 2 of them are 15 months old, but you're always tired.
I don't know how you do it. You're like Superman.
I don't know. I'll take the compliment, though. Hey,
there you go.
We got a great episode coming up for you. We have a fantastic interview, but before, I just want to hear a quick summary of what happened in Connecticut. How'd it go?
Oh, we had a blast. I went down to Mystic, Connecticut this weekend with our good friends Katie and Dan, and we all ran the Mystic Half Marathon. I had a pretty stellar race. I did a 1:51:49. We had perfect running conditions. It was misty in Mystic, and it was like 57 degrees with just a light breeze. It was absolutely primo running weather. So everything lined up perfectly. Like I had mentioned during that, I don't know if you remember one of the races I ran over the winter, I placed in the Philly category, like
That's
the
right.
weight class.
Yes.
I did it again. I was in the Athena weight class, which I think is like 150 for women.
Well, congratulations.
And I got second place. So, I lost. Well, I didn't lose, but I came in second by 11 seconds.
Oh,
It was so close.
So
If
close.
I would have known, I would have picked it up a little bit more, but
So close.
overall.
This weather, you mentioned the weather. The weather's been amazing this week. What amazing warm weather. For some of you, might be too warm for running, but I've loved it. Thank God it's finally here.
I was worried it was going to be too hot down there, but it was absolutely perfect. I could not have asked for a better day.
Hey, before we get into the interview, I do have to ask the photo with the pose.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the pose.
Yes. So Katie and I took pictures of us in our running outfit of the day, which was made famous by an Instagram star who I currently am fangirling over. Her name is I'm Mrs. Space Cadet. So if you haven't checked her out on Instagram, do that because she is hilarious. She's just such a cool person. But what she does is she just takes it's just a funny running pose of her running outfit. So you'll just have to look on her Instagram. It's great. But she actually recognized us, too, because we tagged her in a post. Thanks to you, actually.
Thanks to On the Runs.
Yep, you got us noticed. So it was pretty fun.
I want to talk about the interview. I had fun editing this one, but it was a little lengthy. So I want to not do so much chit-chat between you and me, and I want to get to this interview. So why don't you give us a quick intro to the interview we had, because this is someone that you've been friends with for quite a long time. It's someone you brought to the pod.
Oh, yeah. We talk about her all the time. She's one of my best running friends, and she's always there for me and willing to do crazy races and such. And we just talk about her all the time. So without further ado, let's welcome our next guest.
All right, guys, I'm going to flip the script and do the introduction for our next guest, who barely needs an introduction, as we talk about her quite often on the show. You may know her as Rachel Runs for Medals on Instagram, but we know her as a penguin marching south, a mom chasing the majors, a marathon maniac and a half fanatic, the queen of running matchy, and a She Runs This Town celebrity. We are so excited to finally get to talk to her and hear her stories, so please welcome to On the Runs, Rachel Morrow.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here. I've been following along with your podcast. Just listened to episode 16 last night when you were texting me, Erika.
Very nice. Yeah, Scott was a good episode. That was fun.
What an intro that was. Great job, Erika. Rachel,
I tried.
Thanks so much for coming on. It is truly an honor for us.
That was my knuckles, not a fart, by the way. If you've ever heard that. Okay.
We've been following you for quite a while. I've been following you and getting to learn you, and some people would maybe say, maybe locally, you're a little bit of a running influencer around here.
Sure. I mean, Erika can attest. We were at a race on Saturday, and a woman came up to me and she goes, "Are you Rachel Runs for Medals?"
Actually, we've been at quite a few races where people will come up to you and be like, "You look familiar to me. I recognize you."
And we have a friend my mother works with, Danielle, and she knows you through the She Runs This Town. And I don't know if she knew you first or She Runs This Town, but then she goes, "Oh, Rachel follows him, and Erika talks about Rachel all the time. And I know Rachel because she is in She Runs This Town."
See, it's a small world. It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. She Runs This Town is actually a pretty large group. I looked at their page yesterday. There was 5.5 thousand members.
Well,
Just in New Hampshire? Or like all over?
So this is just the SRTT New Hampshire group, but I think some of the people maybe have moved to Mass or other states, but are still part of the group.
That's
But
nice.
It's a large community.
maybe a little like the Wicked Smart Zone group. It was supposed to just be Mass, and then it's kind of like grown to New England or people from Mass, even though if you live in Idaho, it can grow. So one thing we like to do here is start from the beginning. Rachel, when did you get into running?
Okay. So it was around my 30th birthday I got into running. I'd always been sort of an avid gym goer, into fitness. And I would always see the people running on the treadmill or running on the street. And I'm like, man, I wish I could really do that. I sucked at running. I couldn't run more than 2 minutes. I had a couple of series of kind of awful events happen to me around my 30th birthday. One of them was a awful breakup. And the other, my dad suffers from dementia and he's in a nursing home. So I needed an outlet to deal with the stress and the frustration. So it was actually my ex-boyfriend's half-sister. She said, "Why don't we sign up for a color run?" I had 3 months to train, so I had a pair of running shoes, and that's where it all began. I don't even think it was probably a few hours after finishing that race, I signed up for every other, I think it was a Millennium Fun Run 5K I could. I was hooked.
Running is
Immediately
a gateway
hooked.
drug.
Yes.
Basically.
So the color run was your first race.
That was my first
Was that
race.
the one at the Speedway?
It was.
Yeah.
Yes.
I knew some people who did that. I don't know if the years match up, but like that looked like a ton of fun. And you run and you're wearing all white, and like they just douse you with paint, or I don't know what it was, but you're going on a run, and you end the run, you look like a tie-dye shirt.
It's amazing. Yeah, I think it was in 2015. That was my first. No, wait. Nope, I lied. 2014. That was my first color run. Yeah. So here we are, 8 years into it.
And what kept you going?
I really love just beating the tar out of my anger on the pavement. That was it for me. And then I slowly got addicted to all the fun themed races, costumes, tutus, sparkly skirts.
The two of you both are matchy quite often.
I think she's got me beat, though, for sure. I've caught up a little bit, but yeah.
We'll get you there.
Oh, yes, eventually. So at this point, Rachel, how many races would you say you've done? / how many medals do you think you have?
Those will be two different answers. Not every race has a medal.
That is true. That is true.
It has to be in over 200 races.
Well, I got some stats here for you. You've done 46 half marathons, 15 marathons. You've done ultras. I've been there for one, and that night was brutal. What a brutal night. And I think that one was kind of like a tough race for you. I know it was a tough race for Erika, and like you had to power through, and like the humidity was like 80% that night.
Oh, it was like 100%.
Out of control.
150%.
But yeah, so then you've done 5 of the 6 majors. So you've done quite a lot, but you're thinking a little over 200?
Yeah, I would think so. When I count, so I counted my medals for you guys today.
Thank you for that, by
The
way.
numbers are in. We have 134 medals. However, if you want to count the cheap half, where Erika did the full,
ribbon.
we've got 135 if you want to count the ribbon.
I counted. I hung it on my medal holder, so yep, that totally counts.
It's a piece of bling, right? Yeah.
How do you come up with the idea of making, I've seen your pain cave, and your wall is covered with those medals. How did that come about?
It started with just a bib holder because I had signed up for all the fun 5Ks there was known. And I think I had my medals, my couple medals hanging on the sides because usually 5Ks, smaller races don't have medals. I actually found this handmade medal holder on Etsy. And they have a variety of different designs. The name is escaping me right now, but
It's not Allied Metal Holders, is it?
no, I think it's something like York Design Company, something like that.
Okay.
But I just keep ordering through them because they're great, and then they all match, and we all know how I need to match.
That is true.
Well, your pain cave and that wall of medals puts Erica's wall of medals to shame. And some people have seen her wall of medals and like, this is amazing. And just, we'll have to share some of your photos of it. It is the most impressive wall of medals I've ever seen. And that room is all lit up. It looks like it has to be the best place to run on a treadmill, to bike on a Peloton. It's just lit up and has this like probably this feeling inside that just keeps you going. And instead of like the light beaming down on you, you got cool, colorful lights. What else do you have in that room?
Well, we've got the treadmill, which is getting a little old now. I might have to upgrade to the Peloton tread. I might have to sell my other kidney for that.
Hey, I'm on a payment plan for that, and it is like not expensive at all. We'll go into details later.
We have the Peloton bike, which you don't see in a lot of pictures. I have a rack of free weights and some weighted barbells, kettlebells. Got the big full-length mirrors and one of those adjustable weight benches, where you can adjust the back to be different angles. That's about it. Yeah, I remember I felt so good to quit the gym and not have to pay them $70 a month anymore. And just, I don't even have to. So I'm gonna sound terrible right now. The days I don't post on Insta, some days I don't match.
No,
So
Rachel,
it's-
what? I am shocked.
I don't always match. Sometimes I just throw on whatever and go down there and work out, and I don't have to drive to a gym.
Isn't it great? It's so convenient. I know
Right.
not everybody can get that, but
Well, one thing I know for sure is Erika wants to know, how do you get the most perfect Instagram picture? Because she's like, I'm trying to take this picture for the gram, and I can't get it the way I want. And Rachel's always like, the most perfect picture, and I need to just ask her one day, so I'm doing it for you, Erika.
thank you. Yeah,
How do
I
you
always
get-
feel so damn awkward trying to take a selfie. Like I have not mastered that yet. So any tips and tricks, I'll take it.
Yeah, so I definitely feel like I've gotten better at it over time. I don't know if anyone else stalks their own Insta page just to see what it looks like to other people, but if I go back years ago to some of the older posts, I'm like, wow, those are terrible. But I do have an app. It's called Photo Timer, and it sets to like a 10-second delay, and it'll take.
There had to be an app for that.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can set the interval and how many you want to take for how long, and you can just keep either set it on a fence and keep running by, and maybe it'll grab a few of you in motion, or prop it up somewhere.
That's ringing a bell now. We've done that a couple of times between the two of us.
What do you prop your phone up on?
Usually I run with a handheld water bottle, and there's quite a few benches along the rail trail, so I use the water bottle to sort of hold it.
Absolutely.
Genius.
Genius. So as we're on the topic of Instagram, let's talk about yours, all right? I think of all our guests, you're our most popular on Instagram. You
By
have,
far.
By far.
Aw.
You have over 3,500 followers, 3,526 to be exact. You're closing up on 1,500 posts. I don't know if you when you hit 15, if you'll do like a big 1,500 posts. Maybe when you hit 5,000 followers, you should get like a 5 and 3 zeros on a balloon and say thank you to all my followers, something like that. How did you grow your Instagram? When did you start at Instagram? And I pretty much think this Instagram is all running related.
Oh, it absolutely is. But before it was Rachel Runs for Medals, it was Rachel Bakes Cupcakes. So
No way.
I owned my own business for about 5 years. I did cupcakes, cakes, weddings, graduations, events. And when I started getting into running, it became more about the running and less towards the cupcakes, although they kind of go hand in hand, right? You run some miles, you want to eat a cupcake.
He was asking about when we did our virtual how you came up with the idea of the donut medals, and I'm like,
But now I want to wait. Did you
Maybe
make
that's
those
along the same
donuts
line.
yourself, or were those Dunkin' Donuts?
I think those
No,
are
those are
Dunkin's.
Dunkin's.
Okay, no free ads, Dunkin'.
Yeah.
So wait, if I scroll all the way and like creep your Instagram, I'll find photos of cupcakes.
No, I think they've been taken down. I haven't scrolled back that far in quite some
I'm
time.
surprised you haven't, since you've been creeping on her Insta this whole time.
Just today.
Just today.
Maybe last
make
night
it
too.
down that
Last
far
night.
enough, but-
I was like, everything here is just a picture of pro compression socks and running. I'm trying to find a picture that had a story. One thing we love to do here is share stories. running stories, as a matter of fact, is like our big one, but we'll take any story you got. So I want to ask you, do you remember the first time we met? You and me.
I think we unofficially met during COVID. So pre-COVID, the SRTT running group, we did a lot of group runs, and I used to love creating routes that spelled stuff. People used to love coming to those, and they would spell fun words and phrases. And when COVID hit and the first race cancellation email went out, I was like so angry.
Yep.
So we created a route. It was the fuck Corona route, and that is exactly what it spelled out. I think I remember Eric screwed up the U.
I did.
I think it said fuck.
F-O-C-K. I was like, you know what? I want my Strava to be, PG, so I made it an O.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why you're not directionally challenged or anything.
Made a wrong turn.
That's awesome.
I do think that was the first time I met you. So that was a She Runs This Town event, or maybe not event, but it was created on Facebook. And I showed up, and it was me and 15 lovely ladies, and you all accepted me.
Yeah, you were the only dude.
You all accepted me and let me run with you, and it was wonderful. So She Runs This Town. How did She Runs This Town begin?
So there are many chapters of She Runs This Town. This is just the New Hampshire chapter.
He thought you were like the boss of
I
this.
thought you were like...
Yeah, he honestly
I
did.
thought-
I was like, well,
I thought you were El Presidente of She
Yes.
Runs This Town. And I didn't even know it was like, then Erika tells me it's like nationwide. And I thought like this is a thing you started and grew or whatever, but you just seem to be like very popular, influencer-esque on that. Everyone seems to like you said, someone goes, "Are you Rachel Runs for Medals?"
she's motivational. What can you say?
Absolutely are. So tell me more about She Runs This Town. What I don't know a lot. I just know a lot of women are on this, and they go on to inspire each other and to get out there and run.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's run by admins. There's 3. There's Steph, Kendra, and Beth. There's certain rules to the group. I won't list out all the rules, but one of them is no feet pictures because nobody wants
Save
to
that
see
for bad ultra running advice. They can have the feet pictures.
Yeah, I mean, anyone can join. It's free to join.
Women though, right? Or not men?
I don't think I'm allowed.
Sorry. Only she runs this town.
It's okay. I live through it vicariously through Erika.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. She'll like take a screenshot and send me this. This is hilarious, or you should check this out. She maybe once or twice her or Katie shared something in a group chat, and I'm like, I can't see it. I'm not part of the group.
There are some great memes on there. That's why. Yeah. I don't share any like personal information, but
Yeah,
No.
good memes.
It's a good safe space for people to ask questions, share struggles, post their daily runs, or maybe they're just getting back out there and are looking for some motivation. People are starting to create some group events slowly as COVID, it's not as big of an issue, I guess, anymore than it used to be. Really, it's just if you are struggling and say I have a 20-mile run on deck for this weekend, and I really don't want to go by myself. I'll throw something in the group, and a bunch of people might respond.
Oh yeah.
See you at 6 a.m. Like, where else are you going to find someone else that crazy?
And were you the one who did the fuck Corona run on there? Was that you?
That was me. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We all felt the sentiment, so it got a good response.
That was such a fun run. I mean, you need me there because I took the group photo because I was the
did,
only
and
guy.
then
So
you,
we got
like,
every girl in it.
photobombed.
I did get in a few of them. I did.
Right.
That was fun. That was a cold day too. I ran in a hat. It usually doesn't happen.
Yeah, it was March. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, still today, fuck you, Corona.
Basically, yeah. So that did happen before when I thought you guys had actually met. I thought you guys had met during one of our virtual runs. We were running a virtual marathon because we were supposed to run London April of 2020, and it got canceled. So we decided to just do our own backyard marathon, and you helped us, Eric.
This is the donut story, right?
Yes.
Donut medals.
Yes, donut medals. Yep. So
All right. I got a question for you.
Yes.
We were running out. You're doing a marathon. I did the first half. When we hit the halfway point, you two turned around and I stayed. Do you recall why?
I thought you were only half crazy. I don't know. Maybe he only has a half on deck for today.
He had something on deck. That's
Oh my God. So with about a mile before the turnaround point, my stomach was seriously mad at me. And so I said, you know what? I was hot. I was wearing an extra layer because it was cold. I said, you two turn around. I'm going to run to this parking lot, put my shirt behind a rock, and then I'm going to come back in a t-shirt. That's not what happened. You two turned around. I made about a 20-foot dash into the woods. And about 5 minutes later, I was finally good to go. And you two were so far ahead of me, I sprinted a 5K to catch up to you.
We're feeling good.
You two were just, I'm like, okay, there may be a mile. And man, I had to run like sub 8-minute miles to catch the two of you doing your like 9-minute flat marathon.
How long did it take you to tell me that story?
Oh, great story. I was not that comfortable with Erika yet.
Oh.
We've known each other for years, but I'm like, how do I tell her about this? There's a TV show called Dave on FXX, and he has a scene where he's hiking with his girlfriend, and all of a sudden diarrhea hits. So I send this video clip to Erika, and I'm like, Erika, remember when I disappeared for quite a while? Sent her the clip. This is what happened. No joke. That is what happened, how it happened. I reinvented diarrhea is what
Had me
Dave
rolling
says.
on the floor. I'm cracking up. I was like, dude, you can tell me anything. Like, this stuff doesn't bother me.
And at that moment, this was born, this bond between us and sharing whatever we want and just how we work well together now. And we can just talk about shit.
Yeah,
Literally.
basically. Yep.
So I go to her, I go, Rachel's coming on. Does she know? Does she know about that? Does she have any clue what happened to me there? Because we both thought that was when we first met until we realized the F Corona one.
Nope, I just learned of this information as of May 11th.
Perfect.
I want to hear about the two of you. I want to hear how the two of you know each other, how you met. I know you met back in 2016. I know a little bit where, but I want to hear the story, and so does everyone else.
Yeah. You want to tell or you want me to?
I'll start, sure.
Go for
so we met in 2016 during my very first Reach the Beach. I don't know if it was your first, Erika.
That may have been my second. I had actually run my first Reach the Beach back when New Balance sponsored it. But I ran it with Chris Lewis, who runs Total Image. She had a whole team together. And Brandon Robertson, hello, Brandon Robertson. He was
a
on my
listener.
team. Yeah, he was on my team. So that was my very first one. That was 2010, I think. And then I took a little break until I found the penguins. So,
wow, I had no idea Reach the Beach has been around that long.
yep, it has been around.
So how'd the Penguins start?
They were Perpetual Motion Squad, I think, before we rebranded it as Penguins
PMS.
Marching South.
But we wanted to keep the PMS. So was it Sammy who came up with penguins, or Jesse, or I don't actually know who came up with the actual penguins, but it's a thing now. We're like well known at the
There's inflatables and
yeah, but we are well known in the Reach the Beach circuit.
Again, influencers in the running community around here.
No, we're just really annoying up there. That's why.
And you guys go and you make magnets and stickers and you hand them out. You throw them on vans. Like who comes up with this stuff?
I think we take turns each year. Who's going to design the shirts? Who's going to design the magnets? Erica's on deck
Dibs
this
on
year.
magnets,
Yep.
for sure.
And how many of there are you?
12.
We do
well,
12.
actually, there's more penguins because every year, not everybody has been able to do it. So we've recruited more penguins along the way. So there's probably like 15.
We've got some alternates. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you two meet at Reach the Beach, and you've done a few now. Do you do them every year?
We try. We
Yeah.
didn't do it last year because it was a little iffy because we've had like COVID was still around. So we had some people who didn't want to or couldn't. So we decided to take a gap year for
Is
that.
it in the works again?
Yes.
Yeah. And I
We-
think you did Vermont, where
Yes.
I absolutely hate trail running. And then I did the Ultra Ragnar Cape Cod, and you
I
didn't.
wish I did that one, but yeah.
Yeah.
So the Penguins have got around to some different Ragnar events, but
So you meet in 2016 at Reach the Beach. That's the first time the two of you ever met.
I believe so. Yes.
How did this friendship continue? What was next?
Ooh.
Did one of you call each other for a race? Were you like, hey, I want to do this. Do you want to come? Or
So what I recall seeing you and Jesse at the Manchester City Marathon in 2016.
Yep.
That was my third marathon or something? No, maybe not. I don't know. It was early in my marathon journey,
and that would have been about a month after Reach the Beach, maybe a month and a half.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It was like early November. So, but I remember seeing him, and we all just kind of were commiserating how cold and miserable it was that day.
It was. We have a picture of the three of us, I remember. And then Danielle, fellow penguin, was there, and Jen was there.
Yep. Shauna was there, but I don't think she was a penguin at that point, but we recruited her later. But yeah, I think that just kind of set it off. We had more Reach the Beaches and more races here and there. All the local ones.
And then somehow, like, one of you will call each other up and be like, hey, I want to do this race, whether it's local or whether you got to jump in an airplane and fly across the country to do it and then fly back hours after the race. Like, this just started, and you two, like, kind of bonded and built this running friendship.
I always looked up to Erika. She's always been a level crazier than me. I remember I saw her do Dopey in 2017, and I said, man, that looks fun. I'm going to go for it in 2018. And she's always been one step ahead of me. I think you joined the Maniacs before me. I think you've done, what's the most fall marathons? You've done 6?
Yeah, I had 6, like in a row.
Oh, so you've blown her out of the water then with the marathons.
I'm only up to like 3 back to back.
You've done more than 6. Sorry.
No, that was just one. I did 6 in 6 weeks. Like I did back to back to back to back.
I'm not that crazy yet.
How many marathons have you done though?
I think I just cracked 31.
Oh, wow.
I did 31 the other day.
Yeah. And do you know your halves?
No, I don't know the halves.
Oh,
See, I didn't keep track of that, but Rachel has me blown out of the water for that one.
Do you have goals like hers? Like, do you want to run a marathon in every state or every country, or what's the goals?
Yeah, so my goal has never been every state. I really don't do well in the heat. But for whatever crazy adventure Erika's going to that I'm happy to join, I'm there.
I'm going to be throwing out the invites. No
So
worries.
who typically asks the other, to go somewhere and do something crazy?
I feel like we're pretty even at this point.
50-50, yeah.
So who asked about Kansas? Because let's talk about Kansas. You just both flew back from Kansas.
That was me. I said, Erika, there's this Wizard of Oz themed race in Kansas. Do you have that as a state yet?
Well, I know I did not. So here we go.
All right, let's talk about it, because I think that was like, Erika goes, this is like the most budget-friendly marathon I've ever done. Not just the cost of the marathon, but, traveling marathon to get somewhere and get back. And I think you did one night in a hotel. You ran the race. You flew back. Let's hear about it.
Yeah. Go for it, Rach.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to compare it to the majors and traveling to London, Berlin, any of those, this is by far the cheapest marathon that we've traveled to. Yeah, so we flew out Friday morning. Our flight was at 7 a.m. And we got there around 9:30. Got the rental car. Erika refused to drive because it was a massive SUV.
I don't do well with big vehicles. I don't know. They make me nervous.
She's got this tiny car here, and I've talked to her before. I'm like, when are you going to get rid of it and get something cool? And we're driving. I'm
Never.
like, you should buy one of these. She's like, no, I need a tiny car.
I
like
do.
2-door max limit for her.
I love my little coupe. It's so cute.
That's okay.
Anyway.
We made it. We made it. We
did.
got the big rental, the big giant Explorer, and we ended up grabbing some lunch. We hit up the expo, used all the props at the expo. There was a guy there who said we were the best photo takers.
We had so much fun with that. There were hats and brooms involved, and
I think the weather,
cardboard cutouts.
I think the weather, held up to par with the theme of the Wizard of Oz.
That was a doozy, in itself.
I think my phone said 22 miles an hour every day, and then gusts up to 60. It was brutal. We went and drove the course. A good portion was on a paved bike path or paved trail of sorts, so we couldn't see the full course. So we would drive by, and we said, oh, look at this cute trail. This will be so fun tomorrow. And no.
It was like a wind tunnel.
There was actually signs on the trail for steep grade. It was so hilly. I looked at my stats after. This ended up being the hilliest full marathon I've ever done. And you don't think hills when you think of Kansas.
No, it beat Manchester City. That's what
By
she
50
looked it
feet
up.
of gain.
Insane. You can't even call it a rail trail, really, because there's no train that went that route. There's no way. Yeah, it was nuts.
I saw one of your posts during the race. You were giving the middle finger to the mile 20 marker.
I love to do that. Even when we did our virtual, I think you might have been in the woods at that time.
Maybe, possibly.
But as soon as we hit the mile 20 mark during that virtual marathon, I gave the trees the middle finger.
What's the story behind that?
It's just mile 20 sucks. You're tired. You're like, all right, I just have a 10K left to go, but that is the longest 10K of your life. It just, you're tired, hungry, sweaty,
Miserable.
miserable.
And did you start that from the beginning, like your first marathon?
No. My first marathon, I think I was just super excited. I don't think I gave anything the middle finger. I think Disney, when I did Dopey, might have been the first time I gave mile 20 the finger.
You're not allowed to give the finger to anything at Disney.
She started to.
It's Disney.
You can now.
It was,
Just wait till you do Dopey.
I can't wait.
And you're at mile 20 of the marathon, the final race. And what are you going to want to do?
If I see Mickey, I'm giving him a high five. I'm not going to give him the bird. Oh, I would hope that 10K to go, I would be like, 10K to go and this thing's over and I could just get in my Normatec boots. That's what I'd be thinking. Or I'll be
Just
thinking
run
like,
to the boots.
or I'll be thinking I'm never doing this again until a day later. I'm like, I can't wait to do it again.
See? Mm-hmm. It's
That's how it
contagious.
How was Dopey? How was that? That's like 2 a.m. wake up calls every day. Were you prepared for something like that? 4 races in 4 days, a 5K, 10K, half marathon.
no. So I saw Erika did it in 2017, and I signed up for Princess in 2017, and
Did you dress up like a
I
princess?
sure did.
Oh, yeah.
But I
love that you two dress up.
It's fun.
I love it. It makes it more fun. If you're not having fun,
What's
I
the
don't know
point?
what's the
Honestly,
point.
yeah.
What's the ultra runner who dresses up?
Brittany
Yeah, that's right.
Charbonneau.
That's right.
Oh, she's the best. She's the funny runner. Funny, yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. We'll show her to you later. She's great.
She just did the Dopey challenge and dressed up every day, 2 and 1 every
She
race.
just did Eastern States dressed as a lobster.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
She's fantastic.
And she won.
She did. She won.
What?
Yeah, she's an elite runner. Yeah, she was the runner that when Katie volunteered at Boston 2 years ago.
It was actually last fall.
Yeah. The fall. Yes. But she was the one who gave her Gatorade at one of the stops. So,
Oh,
So we've become a Brittany Charbonneau fan ever since.
absolutely.
that's great.
But continue.
Well, I signed up. So tickets went on sale early because it was an anniversary year. It was 30th marathon, 25th marathon, 5th Dopey. And I hadn't even had a chance to do Princess yet because they went on sale in January and Princess is in February.
So you had to go on faith. I'm
So-
going to love this and I'm going to want to do this. So it's happening.
Erika made it look so fun. I signed up, and the 2 a.m. wake-up calls are brutal. You try to go to bed at 8 p.m. When there's other people in your hotel making noise above you, next to you, running down the halls.
That sounds like Kansas.
Where'd you stay? Do you know?
I stayed just outside of the parks. I had a friend who lived in the area, and she was doing the races as well. So she volunteered to pick me up each day, which was great. And she knew all like the secret back ways in.
Oh, nice.
It was the best.
I'm looking at your shirt, by the way. That's a horrible idea. What time? That's the story of marathon
great.
runners. Yeah.
So 2 a.m. wake up calls, 5K, probably pretty simple. 10K, not too bad. How'd the half go?
Yeah, so the 5K and the 10K are whatever. It's really the half before the full that tires you so much. The half, I had a really good time. I think the 5K, 10K, and the half were all in the 30s at the start. But the marathon decided to be 80 degrees.
I had like the exact opposite weather. All of my races were super warm and like muggy, and then the marathon was 30 degrees. I had to buy sweatpants at the expo. It was not fun.
Yeah, I had to go to
$80.
the outlets. There was an outlets right by my hotel. I had to go get some like leggings because I brought shorts for every day, and I was shivering.
I did not pack accordingly either.
So besides your friend in the area, did you go by yourself?
Yes,
Do you do that often?
I do. You know what? I don't mind traveling alone. I went to Berlin alone. I mean, Erika was there, but we
Yeah, you
weren't.
flew out separately, and yeah.
Yeah, we weren't in the same hotel.
How do you socialize then? Like when you're by yourself, how do you get along? What do you do when you're by yourself and you got no one to tag along with you and join you? And you go to an event like this, whether it's Kansas Dopey Challenge.
Yeah, so I try to find something fun to do. So when I went to Berlin and London, I signed up for a bike tour. and you meet people that way on the tour, do the touristy things. I've been to Philly, and I remember before that race, I didn't even have time to use the bathroom. I spent so much time socializing. I found my Marathon Maniacs group. We took our group picture, found a couple people from New Hampshire. Then I took my Pro Compression sock group photo.
So you got groups out there still. You find people. And
We do.
You get along. You're very easy to get along with and make friends.
I could talk about running for hours, days.
We met quite a few Marathon Maniacs. Like if you wear like a piece of their clothing, they're so easy to spot, and you just know you're instantly going to have some like topics to talk about. So we met quite a few people in Kansas, and yeah, that was a lot of fun.
One guy was from Acton, Mass.
Mm-hmm. That was Kip. I ran with him, like I leapfrogged him like for most of the race. I think he beat me by like 10 seconds.
This is in Kansas?
Yeah. Oh, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, just meeting in the beginning. Like he saw, I think Rachel was wearing one of the singlets, and he's like, "Hey, Maniacs," and we're like, "Yeah, you're one too." So it's just a good conversation starter. And yeah, I wound up seeing, like, he was wearing bright yellow that day, so he was easy to spot. So I kept running with him for a little while. I ran with him for like the first like 6 miles, maybe like even like 8 miles, and then we just kept kind of leapfrogging, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah. So yeah, let's get back to Kansas real quick, because
I'm jumping everywhere.
Yes, we're all over the place, but that's okay. So there was a little bit of controversy with our Kansas race. So this was the, of all things, the Garmin Olathe Marathon in Kansas. Okay.
Garmin like the
Garmin
watch.
like the watch,
Okay.
the GPS, gear. So we're running, and like mile 3, we'll call it 3. Some people started noticing that the mileage was off. So we would pass a mile marker, and I'd look at my watch. It would be like 2.7, and we're like, "This is weird. Maybe it's just like a weird thing." But every single mile marker after that was off by like the same amount. Come to find out, they mismarked the course. So this was like a USATF certified course, Boston qualifier. Somebody misplaced a cone, and it was off by like 0.1 something. Like it was just a little bit too close. Like we didn't do a turnaround all the way, and it wound up not being the full marathon distance.
So wait, every mile was off, or just 1 mile that ruined the entire race?
Well, I guess 1 mile. ruined
Every
the entire-
mile, I remember my watch buzzed. I remember passing the flag for mile marker 3, and I looked down and I had like 2.74. So every single one after that was off, and I remember all the people around me asking each other, "Hey, is your watch off?" And it was the rest of the race.
So miles 2 to 3 were off, but then 3 to 4 or 5 to 6 were all 1 mile. It's just consistently now you're a quarter mile short.
That's where we figured out where the discrepancy was. So it was like between mile 2 and 3 or something.
All right, so it was
like that.
one time, and it screwed everything up.
Yep.
And if someone just ran a Boston qualifying time, it doesn't count.
I don't think so.
What a bummer. Hey, Maisie.
No, that's Scooter.
Oh, Scooter.
So yeah, we like there were people who brought it up, and I'm like, I was worried because I'm like, oh no, what's going to happen? Is this going to count as a state for me? Which, fun fact, it does not. If I want to be an official 50 states like finisher, there's that whole 50 states marathon club. It does not count for that. But they acknowledged that they made a mistake, so it was on. Like it was an issue with the Chamber of Commerce or something who set up the race. They wrote like a whole like memo thing saying you could send it to your clubs.
We all got an email saying that you can present this letter to your clubs, and they can either accept it or not. And
Yes, as an
Marathon
appeal.
Maniacs did accept it as a race. I know a lot of other Maniacs continued on after the finish, including you.
Us. Yeah.
To get to the 26.2. I remember I zig and I zag a lot when I run. I'm tired. I'm like all over the place. So I think I had 26.13 when I finished. And then we all just kept going.
Yeah, I finished at 26.07. So once I crossed the finish line and got my medal and stuff, I just ran like up and down. I continued my watch just so I could have it as a completed marathon.
Will
on my
you
watch.
always do that? Like, I've never thought to do that. If I cross the finish line.
I've never had it be short before.
Okay.
Usually
Yeah.
the GPS, like even if you run like on the outside of where they measure, it adds up for a little bit extra. So I don't think I've ever been short.
So
No.
this is the first time you were both short, and you both ran to count. All right. So does this count for you now? In your head or in the books, does it count, or are we going back to Kansas?
You know what? I got to think about it because somebody brought it up and was like, "Why do you need a club to tell you if you ran a state or not?" And I'm like, "You know what? You got a point. And if I want to make myself a damn medal or something later saying I completed all 50 states, I'm going to do that, but we're going to see. I mean, I don't feel the need to go back to Kansas.
No, I totally
anytime soon.
disagree. I think we go back. I would love to go. I think
Well,
it's just a good excuse to go back. I can do
Kansas
another race.
is going to be at the very bottom of my list then.
It was cheap enough.
It
a
was
cheap trip.
cheap. It was cheap enough. So
It's
maybe
it's a 36-hour trip. What's the
I
big
don't
deal?
know if I would do that particular one again. It's a little bit of a turnoff, but
Well, I agree 100%. I would go there and do a different one. Like,
Yeah.
I know Kansas City is it actually in Missouri, but like,
Yeah.
it's totally another one you could do there.
oh yeah, no, there are others to do, but I mean I didn't hate the course though. Like it was very hilly. It was a challenging course. The weather was not the best. Like it was just very windy that day, but. I don't know. It's something I would consider, but it's not at the top of my list.
And it looked like the two of you were having a good time after the race.
So our hotel didn't offer late checkout.
Did you get to take a shower?
I had to plead with the guy to give us till 12, 1?
I think we had till 1:00.
Till 1.
Yeah.
I was about ready just to send Erica back without me just to go shower because I wasn't sure if I was going to finish in time. But
She was great. She did fine.
we got back and we had like 45 minutes. She went and I literally just finished the race, got in the car, and drove us back.
I could have walked to the hotel, but it was a little bit sketchy. Like
well,
you're
Erica
walking around-
needed to wait for you because she couldn't drive a big truck.
No, I would have walked back.
Oh.
It was less than a mile away.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it was a little sketchy. Like you're going over like overpasses.
I'm just busting your balls.
Yes. But yeah, it was a little bit of a rush. But once we finally were showered and we could take our time getting to the airport again. But yeah, it was just very quick.
Well, I
very
was wondering
quick
if you would
trip.
even make your flight because it looked like you were both having quite a good time at that bar.
Chicken and pickle. I'm
Oh,
obsessed.
tell them about your pickle beer.
Oh, Danielle will love this. So, yes, there's this really cool restaurant in Kansas. It was called Chicken and Pickle, which is like a chicken restaurant with like pickleball courts. It was wicked cool. Like they had this awesome outdoor setup. Just really neat. So, we decided we had some time before going to the airport. So, we stopped in because me being obsessed with it, I had to. We get inside, sit at the bar, and I'm looking at their draft selection. They have something, I already forget what it was called, like the fickle pickle maybe. And I'm like,
That
well,
sounds right.
I'm like, what is that? And he's like, that is a dill flavored beer. You sure you want that? And I'm like, can I try it? And the dude's like giving me a look, like, what are you drinking this for? But I try it. It's literally just pickle juice. Like if you're drinking a beer with pickle juice in it. And I was like, I want this so bad. Give it to me. And I had a pickle beer. So
And your take on it.
it was delicious. That was kind of like a one and done beer though. Like I don't think I could handle more than one of those.
It sounded good, right? Because you've heard of pickle juice while running.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've never gotten into the pickle crave.
Really?
Ashley loves pickles. Like
They're
pickle, and she
delicious.
drinks the pickle juice.
I
Don't
lo-
throw away the big jar. She drinks the whole thing.
She's a girl after my own heart. Yeah, Danielle too. Like it was a sour beer, which is literally, yeah. I was all about that. But one was enough. Plus all the pickles that came on the sandwich, and you got this pickle spear on the side of your sandwich, and I had enough pickles at the end of that, but still enjoyable.
All right, enough about these pickles.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Let's
but-
talk world majors.
Yes.
The both of you, I know this is a goal of yours.
So yeah, we
It's a big goal.
both did Boston in 2018 and the worst weather ever.
You were on the same team.
Same team.
Rachel was on it first. I will give her credit. And she said, hey, there's extra spots. So I went for it. And I was shocked I actually got on the team, but super thankful for it. So thank you, Rachel, for getting me on Boston.
Yeah, we had to fundraise $10,000, and it was for Team Eye and Ear for Massachusetts Eye and Ear Infirmary. So it was a great cause.
Mhm.
We had awful weather, but that's where I think we first became bus buddies.
Yes.
You took the Boston Express.
Well, no, that's not even it. When we were meeting in the Boston Common. Oh no, we did take the Boston Express. We were on different buses, but we met
South Station.
At South Station. Got on the train, went to the Boston Common, and then we got on the bus, and that's when we started taking our bus pictures. Like we're bus friends, and we're plane friends and tube friends in London, and yeah, we got all those pictures.
All right, so Boston was the first of the majors.
Boston was the first. And then we both did New York that fall in November. Bus buddies again on the shuttle bus to the start area.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just always so nervous before a race. And as soon as I see Erika heading towards the shuttle bus area, I immediately feel like calm down. Like, okay, I know a person here in the sea of 50,000 people.
Glad I could help.
You got Boston, check mark. New York City, check mark. And then where'd you go?
Well, Erika seems to do Chicago just about every year. That is her favorite major.
My favorite.
The one year she did not sign up for the lottery, I did. So we always joke like, because you didn't enter, Erika, I got in.
Again, glad I could help.
So in 2019, I got into every lottery I applied to, whether it was a major or any other sort of race, Mount Washington Road Race.
You've done the Mount Washington Road Race.
Yes. That I don't like hills, so
It
I don't
is
know
actually-
why.
that will be a bucket list one for me.
For sure. It's tough.
I do a charity hike every year for Adaptive Sports, and we go up. We pull a handicapped disabled person up Mount Washington on the auto road.
Oh, wow.
First Sunday of every August. Actually, it's July 31st this year. But we do that to raise money for Adaptive Sports, and I walk the auto road every year, and I'm like, I gotta do the road race. The bike race up the road intimidates me. Like that
Ooh.
one, I would love to do,
Yeesh.
but the road race first.
Baby
Yeah.
steps.
Yeah, baby steps.
They say to estimate a half marathon finish time for those, 7.6 miles?
I
And
think,
it was
yeah,
right.
7.6, and
Wow.
man, the elevation gain,
Scary.
unreal. I can't tell you what it is right now, but just like, did you run the whole thing?
Oh, no.
We're so off track, but yeah.
Unless you're an elite runner, no one runs. It's more of like a power hike.
Okay.
You run like the first 5 minutes and then you're kind of toast.
Man, I
I
have so
believe
many
that.
like you said, we could talk running for hours.
We could. You see people, they actually change directions and walk backwards for a little bit to sort
Yeah.
of use some different muscle groups.
People even do it during the hike we do. I mean, there's like 400 of us, and some people will do that. We take, turns, pulling the person up in the trail rider, and then other people will be like walking backwards and stuff. It's a fun event. But
Okay.
yeah, I would love to do that race. Beautiful landscape. The views are spectacular. We're so off track. So majors. Berlin.
We did 2019, got in through the lottery. There was no shuttle bus for that one. We walked.
That
We
was
stayed in
right.
separate hotels, but I did find you on the walk to the start, which was, again, comforting to see Erika.
Yeah, we were staying we were maybe like a mile apart, but we like walked towards each other and then went to the start line together.
So you will go to some races, the same race, but you don't travel together all the time.
We might not know, so
I tend to stay, like, if I'm going out, like, especially if I bring Brandon, we make it like a long vacation instead of just like a go just for the race thing. So like I was in Berlin, like the Germany area, for 10 days. And I think you had a shorter trip out of it, didn't you?
I did. I had to come back and go to Chicago.
Yes. So she had that. I
You
got
really
to
are a marathon maniac.
That was how I got in for doing two. There was 14 days apart. So I think the entry-level criteria is 2 within 16 days or 3 within 90 days. So that was my in.
I'll have to add that to my bucket list.
Just do it.
Just to get in.
I'll run them with you, man.
Yeah.
You don't have to pull my leg on that. Ironmans, no. Marathons, yes.
So out of the 5 majors you've done, what's your favorite?
That's such a tough question. They're all so different. I would have to say Boston because that's the one that's close to home. That's the one we had to fundraise the most for. And that was the most brutal conditions we've ever had to experience. I
No
have
lie.
PTSD. Days I don't feel like going for a run, I put on that Boston Marathon jacket. I'm like, I ran Boston 2018. I can get through these 5 miles today.
The weather that day was insane. So how much rain did it rain? Do we remember?
It was inches. Like, it was an absurd monsoon that day.
I've never run in a poncho for an entire race in my life.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I Googled it. What was the weather for the 2018 Boston Marathon? Drenching rain, high winds, and temperatures in the upper 30s made for atrocious running conditions. More than half the professional fields dropped out, but you two finished. It does not give me how many inches of water it was.
Atrocious. I love that word for this.
Yeah, I mean, I remember being like mile 17-ish, and I felt a little hypothermic, but I was like, man, I fundraised $11,000. I am finishing this race today. I'm not going home without that unicorn.
We just talked to a lot about Boston, actually, because Sarah was doing a bunch of her fundraising. How did your fundraising go?
It went well. We did a lot of like restaurant sort of fundraising events where you have people come and they donate a certain percentage of what you raised or what you spent that night towards your goal. I find like 50-50 raffles were helpful, Super Bowl squares, and a lot of friends and family donations. My work also matches donations 100%. So that was a huge help.
Okay, so then you just did London this past fall.
Yeah, October.
Yeah.
London in
I'm like,
21.
what?
You just did
Think about
London.
that. What the hell year is it right now?
Right.
Yeah.
How was London? London looked like it would have probably been my favorite, only for the travel aspect and seeing the scenes and the sights I've never seen before.
I'll tell you, London is a close second
Yes.
for me. Well, God, it really is hard to choose a favorite, but based on repeats alone, Chicago gets my vote, but London was epic.
The food, I mean, I think I just ate and ran my way through London for a few days. It was excellent. It was a year and a half in the making, right? So we were signed up for April 2020, which got postponed till October 2020 and then postponed again till October 2021. So it was a year and a half of just dying to get there.
Seriously.
We both ran for charity, different charities this time.
Yeah.
I ran for the MS Society of the UK. I've run for them in the US as well as my best running friend, Jen, fellow penguin, has MS.
Yep, I ran for Team Sense UK, which is along the same lines as Team Ioneer.
How much money did you have to raise?
Oh, significantly less amount of money.
It was in pounds. I think I had to raise 2,000 pounds.
I don't even think mine was that high. I think mine was like 1,700 pounds.
Which is what to the American dollar?
$2,500 max.
Okay.
I swear it was not a lot of money.
All right.
I did bare minimum and I made my goal. I donated a bunch at the end just because I was like, you guys have been on the hook for so long. I finished the race. You guys were fantastic. I bumped it up to, I think I donated like $250 at the end just to say thank you.
Oh, how nice of you.
Well, I'm pretty sure I didn't have to pay an entrance fee.
Oh,
like,
yeah?
It's different out in London, apparently. But like, yeah, maybe it was either that or it was real cheap, but
I remember one of you posting a video about like how emotional it was going over a bridge.
That was me. Yeah. That was almost at the halfway point and just the crowds on the bridge. It's very different than New York. New York doesn't allow any crowds on any of the bridges. This one was just lined with people and the energy was just so incredible. And again, it was a year and a half in the making. Like I just could not believe we were finally getting to run London.
All right. So 5 down, 1 to go.
There's one sad, difficult one left.
When do we think it's going to happen? When are we going to Tokyo? And I say we.
I hope we get to do it together. If we did basically this whole journey together, if we don't get to close it out together, I'm going to be very disappointed.
I know it. I'm pushing hard for 2023. So I'm doing a half marathon next weekend. It's their virtual Tokyo run as one half. You sign up and they pick 50 lucky winners to get a spot in the 2023 race.
Actually, when I ran the virtual Tokyo last year, I won myself a bib. I was one of the 50 when they did it for that. So that means once they give me the opportunity to accept that, I can let go of my bib for marathon tours. So hopefully I should be like, hey, I know somebody.
Yeah, I've been stalking them.
Can I give it to, be like, you can stay in my room. I'll sleep with my mom and you can sleep with, like, I'll give you the other bed.
I really hope the two of you get to do it together because I think that would just be absolutely more amazing and epic and fun.
Me too.
You know, when you get to celebrate that together, share that experience.
That's one that you don't want to do solo because that's it's a totally new place with the language barrier, and that just is going to be so stressful Yeah.
I don't want to go alone.
No.
Like I need to go with you because I felt like when we went to Berlin, I had no language barrier. So many people spoke English.
Mhm.
I'm nervous for Tokyo. I'm nervous about the food. My stomach is very
Noodles.
picky.
Yes.
So, all right. Worried about the food. You know, sometimes when we eat food like that, do you got any good Code Brown stories for us? Oh, you do.
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
she does.
I'm just going to say.
Erica was like, I don't think she does.
Erica has witnessed me have to use the woods.
All right.
I wasn't going to say that, but you can say it.
We did our virtual so we were signed up for the New Jersey Marathon in April of 2020 or 2021. I can't remember which COVID year it was.
I feel like we were going to do it in 2020, but they had bumped it again and then it went virtual.
Yes. So then we did it virtually in 2020.
Mm-hmm. That was I think the final puzzle piece to my like 6 marathon craziness that fall.
It was, and I only did 3. So again, I'm not Erica's level of crazy yet.
I will turn her, don't worry.
But yeah, I ate too much of my daughter's cheddar bunnies the night before.
What's a cheddar bunny?
Oh, they're like these Annie's like snack mix. Like there's pretzels, there's like cheesy crackers shaped like bunnies. They're just so.
I like cheddar bunnies.
I guess I just can't have cheese. Maybe
I can't either.
that's not not good.
It'll kill him.
It'll kill me. Literally.
It just makes
But yeah, like mile 17, I was like, Erica, I'm gonna go behind this rock or tree, whatever. I was like, can you just watch for like people coming? And she's like, I have some tissues. Do you need them? She has like this. She pulls out
Always
this
prepared.
Ziploc bag full of tissues.
That was the day I did carry them. I didn't carry them for my Code Brown mishap back in last September or something. But yeah, that was rough. I'm like, how am I gonna caw? Like, how am I gonna let you
Erica to
know
the
if somebody's coming?
Erica to the rescue,
Rachel.
being prepared and helping you out there. Way to go, Erica. That's what
Yes.
friends are for.
I was just gonna
Thank
say
you.
that.
Usually I do carry tissues because just you don't, even running a regular race, the porta potties might run
Right,
out.
right.
You always want to sort of have a backup plan.
Mhm.
Now, are they tissues?
I think I did have
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
puffs, like the good
Kleenex.
thick
Yeah.
tissues, like good stuff.
I carry wet wipes.
Oh,
That's a
good.
Dave tip. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah. Well, I've carried them before.
Oh,
I've been carrying them for a while. I mean,
Well, I
advantage,
didn't-
I have kids, so I have wet wipes on hand.
I didn't think
yeah.
of it till
I
Dave.
throw them in a little lunch baggie, and then I bring them with me. And if they don't get used, they're still good to go at home. So
True that.
Yep.
that's my advice, my tip. Okay, so there's been a lot of talk about these virtual races. Are you into the virtual races? The two of you are doing a ton. I've done like none. It's not really a thing for me. Like you two are doing quite a bit. You just did the New Jersey you told us about, and you get the New Jersey medal. Do you count that as like going to New Jersey or doing a New Jersey Marathon, or are you just doing a virtual race to do a virtual race and get to get a medal? Like your Instagram, Rachel runs her medals.
Yes, I think I hadn't really ever done a virtual race till COVID. I needed to earn my bling. If it's a site where I'm entering my official time, I'm counting it, but I'm not counting it as a state.
Same here. Yeah, I like all the marathons I wrote. I did count them as marathon distance because I'm putting in the work. It just I won't count it as a state, or it's not an official race to count on like Marathon Maniacs. Like
And like if you did virtual Boston, you're not counting that as one of your majors.
no, it is not. I don't even hang the medals in the same spot. No, that's
You have your
just-
own spot for virtual. You got
I
virtual
do. medals
medals over here, marathon medals
Yep.
over there.
I'll show you, Rachel.
Yeah,
in the
I've got a
notes.
rack that says COVID-19 gave me the virtual runs, and that's
There
where
you
those
go.
go.
There you go.
That's perfect.
Well, I hope there's less virtual runs and more just at in-person runs.
I kind of stopped doing the virtuals because now that we have the option, now that actual running is back, it's why bother thing unless it is a cool medal. That's literally the only thing I would do it for.
Yes.
All right, I got a note here. Rachel, tell me about the New York City Marathon in 2018.
That's going to go down as my slowest marathon ever, even slower than Disney. That one was rough. So it went really good till about mile 11. I got a really bad headache And I typically get nauseous when I run a full marathon anyways. It usually doesn't happen until later in the race. I fought a really bad headache and really tough nausea that would not subside. Usually it goes away after a few miles. You know, it happened around mile 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Not going away. 16, I see the medical tent. I'm thinking about it. I get all the way to mile 19 and I see the medical tent and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to stop. So this is my first and only race I've ever been medical tented. They put me on a cot. They gave me some Tylenol. They took my body temperature. It was really low, ridiculously low. And they tried getting me to go sit on the ambulance around the corner to warm up. And I knew as soon as I got on the ambulance, I wasn't coming back. So I pleaded with the lady just to let me sit there. I ended up taking about a 45-minute nap while the race was going on outside. I got up and I was just feeling really defeated. I was texting the people I was with,
I just took a nap.
I was like, should I quit? I don't know what to do. But the woman working in the medical tent, she was so awesome. She was like, honey, we're going all night long. She just made me promise that if I felt terrible again, that I would stop at a future medical aid station. But I got out there and I beasted through those last 7 miles, ran the whole thing. People on the course probably thought I cut the course or banded the course because all of a sudden here comes this lady passing everybody for the next 7 miles. And you know what it was? I had my hair in 2 really tight buns on the top of my head and a really tight headband. I'm pretty sure that's what did it. So now you usually see me wearing the braids down low when I run. And the New York City crowds are just they're amazing. Besides the bridges, there's not one point on the course where they're not 10 people deep and you have people. I've never had so many people screaming in my face for hours. I had the worst headache. And I think I'm going to take a page from the guy we met at the airport in Kansas. Was it the airport or was it the guy before the start where he says he takes 3 Tylenol at mile 15?
I think that was Bob. That was Bob
at
the
the airport.
Yep.
I think I'm going to take a page from his book and carry some Tylenol in my bag of salt sticks and everything else.
Yeah.
Pop a few at mile 15.
I never thought to do that.
I didn't either.
I thought maybe before a race sometimes take a nap.
I usually do beforehand, but Bob has his marathoning down to a science. So if we can take some tips from him, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Bob actually, he's a pretty cool guy. He was a race director for.
Oh wait, we know Bob besides just meeting him at the airport.
He's from New Hampshire.
Yeah, he's from New Hampshire.
No way.
He runs the Great Bay.
I thought this was a random guy you met at an airport who says, "Hey, you should take some ibuprofen."
I mean, it kind of was, but he was the race director for the Great Bay 5K. Not to be confused with the Great Bay Half Marathon, which I have made the mistake and he got mad at me. So they're 2 different things. They stole the name, but it rivals apparently the Hollis Fast 5K for being one of the fastest 5Ks in the nation. So he invited me to run it this year, so I may do that.
No way.
A loose invitation, I think, but it still might be cool to do.
I think you should do it, and then we should get him on.
It's in October, so end of
right.
October.
He was also, didn't he say he was it the New Hampshire half marathon record holder for age 73 and 74?
Wait, how old is Bob?
You think he's
He's
like
an older-
74,
he's an older guy.
75? Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. He sat right next to us on our flight over, and then
I gotta meet this guy.
yeah, maybe we can get him on. I'm his Facebook friend now, so we can get in contact with him.
What's up, Bob?
He's a cool dude. So, all right, Rachel, you by far have probably the best style of any runners I've met. And a lot of it is matching socks and gooders, but how'd you start getting into that? I know you like the sparkle skirts like me,
It's an addiction. I
Isn't
have
it?
so many sparkly skirts and socks. I started wearing pro compression, I think in 2017.
Is that when you applied to become an ambassador for them?
No, I applied for 2019. So I was an ambassador for 2019, 20, and 21. But they only allow you to do it for 3 years max. Make it fair for new people who want to come in,
Like me.
like Erika. And now I'm moved over to the alumni group, which is also a fun space to be. All the former
Love it.
all the former ambassadors are there, so it's great. I started with, they had a deal buy 2, get 3 free. I think that's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, great, 5 pairs of socks. They can match all my outfits. But little did I know that does not match every outfit. There's like 5 shades of blue and purple and red, pink. So I have 113 pairs of socks. Those are just the knee-high socks, not counting the lows and the sleeves. But I heard a funny quote online one day, and it was just, it's not that I don't have anything to wear. It's I don't have anything to wear for who I'm supposed to be today. So I'll get dressed for a run, and I'm like, some days I'm all black. It's like a funeral outside. I'm angry. It's maybe raining or cloudy. I'm just in a bad mood. Black.
Mm-hmm.
Some days I'm just a running rainbow and saying hi to everyone on the trail. It really depends on my mood.
Mm-hmm.
I am guilty of picking out my outfit and scrolling through my Insta feed because sometimes I'm just like, what socks haven't I worn in a while?
Oh, good
'Cause
call.
there's so many. How do you keep track?
You know what I started doing? I have all my socks in a drawer and they're all folded nice and neat so you can see what they are. So every time I wear them, I put them in the front. So I tend to grab from like the back and I'll be like, okay, I have not worn these in a long time. And yeah, I kind of rotate them out.
This is great. So
Not that
100
that's-
something socks. You laid them flat.
No, they're in a drawer. Like I can show you those too if you need to.
I roll my socks
Do
up.
I want you to see my bedroom?
No.
Probably not.
I roll my socks up. You said you laid them down.
Well, check this. Literally, we might do a giveaway by the way. But literally I have them in a drawer like this.
That's how mine are.
Yeah.
Exactly how mine are.
So you can
All right.
see them. Like they're very obvious.
Maybe
and-
that's how I can
just-
fit more socks in my dresser. I was going to
Yeah.
ask you, where do you put them all? 100 something pairs of
I
socks. I don't
have-
know where to put them.
I have my own dresser for my running clothes. So like the top shelf is hats and headbands, arm warmers. I have a drawer for shorts, a drawer for sports bras, a drawer for leggings, a drawer for
Very
shirts, and socks get 3 drawers because there's so many.
I have 2. She's still got me beat. I'm working on it.
Man,
Definitely more organized than me.
I have 5 drawers filled with whatever. None of it's running. Underneath my bed is one of those big, gigantic storage containers, and it has wheels. I roll it out, and it has all my running clothes in it. And the other day, this is hilarious. We're talking about cats. I rolled it out. The cat was sleeping in it and scared the freaking shit out of me. I jumped. I was like, holy cow. Because I just grab a shirt. You know, my style is like gray typically all the time. You know, I have a great style.
Yep. We'll get some rainbow.
And I'm a mess. It's all just the shorts and the t-shirts are in there, and 1 pair of arm warmers and 1 pair of leg warmers.
You know what? Pride Month is coming up. We should get you to just dress in nothing but like bright
Rainbows?
colors. Doesn't have to be rainbow, but
I
just
don't mind the
something
bright
bright.
colors.
Get away
Like-
from
like-
away from the gray for a month.
I rocked the pink one. Remember the pink?
I know
Yeah.
you've got a bright
I
green
still
that you
got
wear a
the
lot.
pink too. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All I run in is the shirts I get for free for doing a race. That's what I have. That's
You're gonna do the Goffstown Gallop. They always do a fun color of that. They do really good shirts.
awesome.
Yeah. You're welcome to do that with us too.
When is it?
June 25th. It's Saturday. It's a summer race, your favorite, and it's hilly, also your favorite.
Oh,
5.2 miles.
you're trying to kill
The
me.
Heat,
Yeah.
heat and hills. Rachel loves it. Double 8.
Heat,
And
hills,
also-
humidity.
Here's the kicker: there's no medal. So she's like, I'm out.
I don't know.
We could make you a medal. We can make an on the runs medal.
You know what I did get one year, which is random? A popsicle stick. Because when I first started running this race, they didn't have a timing system. There were no timing mats. They used to literally like watch a clock and would hand you a popsicle stick when you like finish, and you'd have to like give it to like somebody down the line.
My
and do
daughter
it that
would
way.
run cross country, and they did that as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, they've come a long way, and they did that as like a funny thing. But I did get a medal one year. It was like the 250th Goffstown anniversary. Not the race, but like Goffstown in general as like a town. So yeah.
Okay, back to the hardcore questions here.
Yes.
Why no Olive Garden?
Oh, I had to learn the hard way twice. Well, people always talk about, pasta dinners the night before a big
Carb
race. That's not for me. Yeah, I went down to the Cape Cod Marathon in 2017, had Olive Garden the night before for dinner, and had to stop, I think, 2 or 3 times at porta potties along the course. It was just not good. And then you would have thought I learned my lesson and went to Disney And a bunch of us from She Runs This Town went to Olive Garden. Nope. Had to stop, I think, 3 times during the Disney Marathon to use the porta potties.
No fun.
Not at all.
But at least she knows now, so she can avoid it.
So
I
what do you typically eat now before a race?
So Erika saw when we went to Kansas, I do best with a big late lunch, usually like some chicken and a sweet potato. Yeah, I think we had chicken sandwiches that day. And just some lighter snacks throughout the rest of the evening. We had smoothie bowls and Cliff bars.
So, Rachel, you were the one who convinced me to do Anchor Down with you. So tell us about your experience with that.
Yeah, so I signed up. I think registration opened in early January, and it's known to sell out in about 3 minutes every year. And it had been on my bucket list for a couple years, and I said, you know what, I'm going to finally go for it. It's in the middle of August, and don't know why, because I hate heat.
I remember what sold it for me is you told me that they had the most epic aid station at the start finish line area.
Their website had a picture of this epic snack table with every sort of snack you could imagine. And there was a midnight pizza party. So I think that really enticed me to sign up.
I was in. I was like, something crazy, let's do it.
They had a
Horrible
6-hour
idea, what time?
Yes. They had a 6-hour, a 12-hour, and a 24-hour. And Erika and I decided, well, we run marathons. And that takes like 5 hours. So I feel like the 6 hours is not hard enough. So we signed up for the 12. It was from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And the heat index was over 100 that day. It was pretty miserable. What I did not foresee in January when I signed up is that I would have surgery June 25th. I was just cleared 6 weeks post-surgery to run only a few days before the race. So I was not prepared at all. With the heat, a good portion of the race was on trail and was hilly, and it was not my jam.
Yeah, they kind of screwed you over. You were supposed to have surgery like way earlier in the year, and it just kept getting pushed back because COVID, right?
It was supposed to be back in March. So I trained all the way up till surgery date the best I could, hoped for the best. And I got 6 laps done for a total of 14.7 miles. And then I called it quits. I said, you know what, we're just going to take this as a long training run for London. Then I just got to take a nap and then cheer Erika on for the rest of the night.
Which I totally appreciated. But yeah, you have told me you are planning on getting your revenge. So go ahead and tell us what your plan is.
Yes. So I don't think I met the criteria. So Anchor Down this year tightened their criteria to be able to get into the race. I don't think I met the criteria this year because of my DNF last year. So I found this other race. It's in New Jersey. It's called the Loopy Looper. And it is exactly that. Only this one is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So it's not an overnight race. The loops are a little longer. This one's got a 3.75 mile looped course, and it's all paved. There's only one small baby hill. It will be in the blazing summer heat of August. This one's August 6th. But
I said I would totally join, but it's literally the week before Anchor Down. And I'm like, that's probably not the wisest thing if I'm going to try to.
You could be Sherpa.
I should. We'll look into that. Yeah. You need a Sherpa.
I do. So my Amazon package came today with my Easy Up, and I had to read so many reviews of so many Easy Ups to find ones that people confidently said they could put up by themselves, because I'm fully prepared to drive down by myself. I told Erika, I said, it's okay. I don't need you to run this with me. I need this for me. So if I do 7 laps, it'll get me to 26.25, so full marathon distance. I would be happy with that. That's goal A. Goal B is 9 laps for it to count as a Marathon Maniacs race. So anything over 6 hours for Marathon Maniacs, I want you to run at least 50K. And partial laps don't count, so I'd have to do 9 laps. But what's one more lap? If you run 10 laps, you get this little bronze skeleton attachment to your key, to your medal.
Oh, you need that.
So
did they allow pacers? I'll come pace you.
I don't know.
Look into it. Let me know.
I will. But I would love not have to go alone.
I'll just keep you company.
If you don't go, I'm going to be so disappointed now.
Why wouldn't I go?
Well, you got to go.
Yeah, I'm just not going to do the whole thing.
Yeah. Because you got your anchor.
We'll talk.
You got your Anchor Down the next week.
My Anchorman's. Yeah, that's the next week. Anyways, so yeah, so
stop confusing me.
Yeah,
I just looked down at the notes. I'm like, wait, I thought it was down.
It is. You keep calling it Anchor, man. But yeah.
So if that works out, then you qualify for Anchor Down the next year?
I will. Some of their tight qualifications are to have ultra in extreme heat.
That would be chef's kiss. So with Loopy Looper on the calendar, what else do you have this fall coming up?
So this year I made a goal to do 5 full marathons. The most I've ever done a year has been 4.
She's getting crazier. I love it.
I'm catching up to you.
Yes.
5 is my lucky number. I said, you know what? We'll go with 5.
Beautiful.
So we got Kansas,
Mhm.
and then I'm doing Vermont City in a few weeks.
Yes.
And then I'll have a 10-week break till Loopy Looper, so I can get a little bit of rest.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to do Hartford, Connecticut, October 8th. Erica's done that one. She gave it very good
Oh,
recommendation.
really?
Yep. That one I ran by
Erica's
myself.
giving us a 2 thumbs up here.
I drove myself. I think I left the house at 4 a.m., got there at 6 a.m., ran the race, drove home.
She's a trooper.
That was just me being crazy, but
Well, let me tell you, I love running and I love this whole sport, but you two are on a different level.
I love
And
it.
you two, like,
I thrive on the craziness.
it is epic. It's awesome. I love seeing it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Hartford.
It's fun.
What else? What
Yes.
else we got?
So we've got Hartford, and then that will add 4 new states for me this year. I'm not going to not officially going for 50 states, but that will add 4 new states for me this year. And I said, you know what? Let's just bring it home with Manchester City again.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be my 3rd time doing that one. That was my first marathon in 2016. I did it last year and had a 47-minute course PR from 2016. And then, you know what? I said, you know what? Let's just try to PR it. Every year.
Yes.
I have not signed up yet, but I do plan on it.
I will
It'll be my
100%.
second.
I will course hop and cheer you guys on. I Manchester City is just not one of my favorites, unfortunately. But plus that's like the weekend after the hamster wheel, which I'm going for 100. So
Nice.
yeah,
What?
not gonna do.
Did you know
a
this?
marathon after.
You knew this, right?
I know she's doing the hamster wheel. I didn't know her goal.
That's a stretch goal. We'll see about it, but yeah, I will 100% go.
And is there a time limit for that?
24 hours.
Okay.
Well, I'm doing the 24-hour race,
Yeah.
so I'm going to try to cram in as
So
much as
Anchor
possible.
Down's like a practice run for you.
Kinda, yeah. I want to crack 50 at the at that one, but the hamster wheel here is a lot easier. It's still rail trail, but it's flat, so it should be okay. But
Yeah, 100 miles. No big deal.
Nothing.
yeah, we'll talk about that when it gets closer. We'll see how I'm actually feeling. But so, all right, Manchester City. I'll cheer you guys on.
All right.
Yay.
Well,
Is that the last one you got?
That's it for this year. Then I'm going to die in peace till hopefully Tokyo 2023.
Yes.
Let's pray.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll be actively monitoring their lotteries that open and their charities.
So if anybody has any connections for Rachel, please
Please
look
help
her
me.
up.
Yeah, we need to make sure that Rachel and Erica go to these races together. They
Please.
cannot travel solo
It's our
to
dream.
Tokyo. Okay, there's a language barrier. They need the buddy system, the bus buddies. All right, let's get them there together, everybody. Let's do something.
Yes. Tell us about some of your favorite things. Like, what's your favorite race in general? What do you use for fuel? What about like your shoes?
Yeah. Well, Erica actually just recently turned me over to Scratch Labs. Their super fuel mix has been a lifesaver. I find it so hard to eat solid food while running and chewing. Like I'm not talented. I can't multitask. If I had to chew something, that means I'm walking. So their super fuel drink mix has been great. It's 400 calories for about 16 ounces of liquid.
I swear by that stuff too.
It's been excellent. And then they do have some delicious chews, gummy chews that I will eat later on in a race when I am tired and I'm walking. Those have been my go-to as far as, well, you guys know I love pro compression. Those are, I get a run matchy.
Yep, absolutely.
I love my Hoka shoes. I suffered from shin splints for a long time till I found the right shoe.
And Hoka's have done it for you.
Hoka's been my jam. Their Clifton model has, that's their workhorse model. It's you can use it for really any distance. It's been
All the good
great.
miles.
And favorite race? Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah,
Favorite
this could
race
be
of all
anything.
time.
Yeah.
All time, there's so many.
See, like for me, I think I would have to choose.
There's only 200 something.
I would have to choose the Goffstown Gallop for me because that's where it all started. It's my hometown race. It's short and sweet. Stupid hill, but whatever.
Stupid hill.
It's nice and small. It's very like homey. Yeah.
Wow, that's a good question. I'm trying to think. I'm picturing my wall of medals.
Oh, is there a favorite medal you have?
let's see. I think Dopey might be my favorite medal. Just the one with, he's got like bling for eyeballs. It's so much bling.
Awesome.
From 2018.
I think yours is a little fancier than mine. Oh, yeah, because you had the anniversary
I had the anniversary year. Yeah, I was debating going back in 2023 for the 30th marathon and 10th Dopey anniversaries, but it's sold out, and I'm banking on Tokyo.
That's one of the reasons why I didn't, because I would love to do it again. I think we were trying to get you, but you can't go next year because you're going in December.
Going to Disney in December. I'm like, give me a year.
So basically, I'm blaming him.
I got young ones. She has no kids. She doesn't understand what you and I go through.
Right.
Yeah, my daughter might kill me if I get her up at 2 a.m. to get ready for a race.
It's worth it.
My daughter wants to kill me when I wake her up at 7 a.m. to go to school.
I do that with my own alarm clock, so I feel you good. All right, so last but not least, what is your favorite pump-up song that we can add to our Spotify playlist?
Ooh, I love a good pump-up song. The one where you're out there struggling, dying, and it comes on.
Just gives you the rage or like that extra pump of energy.
I'm going to go with Imagine Dragons, Machine. That's my pump-up song.
You got it.
All right, Rachel, this has absolutely been an honor. I have actually been bugging Erika for a while, like, talk to Rachel, get Rachel on. We need her.
I was the one who was like, I don't want to ruin our friendship if she doesn't want to come on, and she like...
It's over, Erika. We'll see what kind of content you do or do not edit out.
He'll do a good job. He's good at that.
No, really, super appreciate you coming on. I don't think it will be the last time you're on either. I think when Tokyo happens, and it's going to happen, we'll have to get the two of you. We'll have to get you back, and we can even talk a little bit about your loop-de-loop. Maybe when we do, maybe we can do an episode about the loop-de-loop and the anchor down.
Yeah, you are welcome back anytime.
No, yeah, we loved having you. I mean, obviously, you're popular around here. You're big, like I said, you're kind of like a little running influencer in the area. So thanks again for coming on. I know it meant a lot to both of us, to me, to Erika, and this has been a lot of fun for us to talk running, and we started this little thing. So you're going to be an OG forever. We appreciate it.
On the Runs OG. I love it.
This has been so much fun. Thank you for coming to my house. Thank you for risking your allergies for being around my cats to talk to us today. And just thank you for being an all-around great running friend in general. You're just an awesome person. So we are so happy to have you here.
Thank you guys both so much. This has been so much fun. Like I said, I could talk about running with anyone for hours, but it's great to talk to my friends about running.
All right, since we switched it up in the beginning, we're going to switch it up in the end. And I'm going to thank you, Rachel, for coming on the podcast. That interview was great. I had a wonderful time sitting in on basically you and Erika telling me stories the whole time. I really enjoyed that. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, Rachel, you are so awesome and such a good sport. I'm just so happy you were able to come on. We're ready to have you on whenever you want. So you just say the word.
I broke the ice with Rachel in the podcast. I tried to do this with everyone who comes in or comes on before we actually start recording. I just shoot some bullets and I try to break the ice. And right away I said, "All right, Rachel, well, why don't we get started? What's your take on the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard story?" And she's like, "Oh." We're going there.
I don't like to that's practically politics. I don't like to chime in on that stuff either.
And then we had Brandon. Brandon came home in the middle of the episode, and then he cooked dinner in the middle of the episode, and we had to take a quick pause.
Got some microwave dings, and then he took a shower.
And we could hear the shower above us. I mean, we were, that episode
the mics pick up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that went an hour and 18 minutes, but we were there for over 2 hours. But it was a blast. It was so much fun hanging out. I had a ton of fun.
And like Rachel was saying, she can talk about running for hours. I can talk about running for hours. Together, you can't shut us up. So there's got to be a follow-up episode somewhere.
Well, I think there will be because we figured out some plans. Maybe you'll be going to New Jersey for the loop-de-loop-de-noodle loop, whatever it was.
Loopy-looper, I think is what
the loop-de-looper. And then the following week is your anchor down.
Going to be a busy August, that's for sure.
Busy and hot.
Yeah, but we're crazy and we signed up for it, so.
Well, Erika, thanks for bringing her on. That was a ton of fun. The only thing we should do different next time we bring someone over or we go to someone is we need to have a meal.
Have some drinks?
Drinks and a meal. Because these go long. 5 hours with Scott,
right,
2.5 hours with Rachel.
Pizza next time. How's that sound?
Maybe when Brandon makes dinner and we talk about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp the whole time, he makes dinner for us too.
Might take a little finagling to get him to cook everybody dinner, but we'll see.
That
If
was
not, I'll order a pizza.
absolutely. That was a lot of fun. So
Yeah, it's so much fun. So we just want to thank everyone for listening again. We had such a great time, and we hope you have fun listening.
So if we're lucky enough that you're one of the new listeners that Rachel brought along, you can follow us at On the Runs if you don't already. You can also email us if you think you got a great story or want to tell us anything. Our email address is ontherunspod@gmail.com. And Erika, thank you so much for doing this with me. 17 episodes so far. This has been a blast.
It really is my pleasure. I have such a blast too. So listeners, most importantly, don't forget to stretch.
I didn't realize at the time, but I think he was using cocaine because it was like there was a jar of cocaine out on the table. I realized that sounds weird, but it was like an actual vintage jar of it.
Got it! Come to negotiate, eh? Have you, you slimy git? Look what I got. I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt. And guess what's inside it?